Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Certain points will be reiterated throughout this introduction series to Warzone Verdansk. Just to drive home a very easy, straightforward, clear message
Battle Royale.
to those willing to learn. Most people that play Verdansk Warzone are dyslexic and are unable to learn, so they repeat the same thing over and over and never learn a damn thing. This is something that Yellow has to deal with in this match. Yellow says, fuck this squad, and is going on his own. Well, that's kind of rude, Yellow. The first rule of Warzone is you must work together as a team to secure the win. What the fuck is Yellow doing? Yellow is stuck in shock and in outer space at the level of terrible trash players he just played with in the previous match. Yellow is rethinking his whole life and is finding seclusion to do so. Well, rest up, Yellow, and gather back up with your squad and get some money. Go to a buy station, get your weapons, and see if you can secure a win in the Warzone Verdansk. As in the previous episode, we are just going to discuss supply caches. These are pretty important. Make sure you pick up all the loot that you get out of them if you can. Everything that you will need. Find a good selection of weaponry, preferably a short and long range weapon, not something stupid and mentally challenged within between those parameters, like Yellow's past team. That team was so bad even the AI was glitching and could not believe what it was watching. Yellow has found an MP5 once again. He's going to walk around the map, not sprint, and use the MP5 again, hoping he doesn't outscore his teammates, who should be doing a little more than that. Yellow is doing something called the bare minimum. This is not something that you want to practice in the Warzone, as it will get you more losses than wins more often. Yellow has secured a kill with his MP5.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Yellow has a shotgun as a secondary choice. Shotguns are not very good in Warzone and are not advised. Yellow should pick up the contractor that's behind him instead of walking past it 4 to 5 times.
Marking contract.
But then again, Yellow is playing as slow and stupid as possible in hopes that his teammates will be able to do better than that. There's Green securing another kill.
You're the target of a most wanted contract. Eliminate threats.
Green is off by himself. He's what you may refer to as a drug addict. Yellow is behaving similar, but Yellow doesn't do drugs. It is almost certain that Green is some phase wannabe that thinks he's going to beat everybody by himself, like a fucking moron. You don't want to be a fucking moron in the Warzone. Communication is an important part of Warzone, which this loser squad does not seem to want to do either. Oh well.
Job's done. Good work.
As long as Yellow's teammates know how to use a gun and not die 17 times in a bot-filled lobby, literally,
Friendly loadout.
they may be able to secure this win without even trying. As one would expect.
1-1 requesting recon at this time.
Yellow has purchased 2 self-revives because he's a bit of an idiot. But it doesn't matter, because Yellow has gunplay skills, as you can see. He's able to shoot enemies. Unlike his last team, which seemingly had never used a gun in a video game in their life.
Get a UAV on grid.
Even though the players that Yellow was playing with last match were all late prestiges in the game, they still had trouble using their weapons, which is very strange. Yellow is surprised that Pink actually won that gunfight. It's almost like the person knows how to play a video game. Yellow is becoming happier by the moment. If you don't score higher than Yellow in a given BR match, BR standing for Battle Royale, Verdansk Warzone, you should probably be permanently banned from using the internet. Because Yellow is not using 90% of his brain function that he would normally use to play the game. Yellow is walking. You can utilize the tactical sprint to move faster. You can use better weapons. You can use a loadout drop. But Yellow says, fuck that shit. That shit's for losers.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Hopefully Yellow doesn't have to carry his squad walking around Verdansk again. That would be very unfortunate. Let's see if these fully grown adults on Yellow's team can actually pull their own weight in a video game. Yellow's hopes are slightly up. He's not massively outscoring them. So far, so good. So Yellow is going to evade the storm here and try not to get his fucking head sniped off, as he usually does. Because Yellow does not use the tactical sprint function, it is hard for Yellow to survive, even though he's the last man standing on his previous squad. Yellow has evidence that this clan that he was playing with will forever be the worst in any video game history. Yellow almost just lost to a bot.
That was close.
Better use more of that brain function, Yellow. Better start using parts of the game that you need to use. Yellow says fuck that shit, because his squad won't do the same.
Be advised, you still have squad mates outside the safe zone.
Yellow is still in shock at the level of sheer stupidity that was displayed by the previous squad, locking down a 3 vs 2 with the zone and a high ground and still lost the 3 vs 2 that Yellow gave them by buying them back. They also had their loadout weapons, which is very bizarre. It is almost as if they didn't even know how to use the weapons that they've made and leveled. After playing a video game for 5 years and being 10 prestige. Dismay on Yellow's behalf is slightly normal. It's more or less normal. Whereas he should move on. This team may make certain that he is unable to, and will be stuck in a loop of being narrated by an AI and walking around Verdansk, playing with his eyes essentially closed, not giving a fuck, as Yellow
TACOM, authorize
puts it.
LDVR strike.
Yellow actually has a stronger weapon choice this match. But if he has to beat 4 people by himself, it's not likely going to happen. No matter what weapons he uses. Yellow is hoping to dear sweet Jesus that he does not have to play a 1 vs 4.
Enemy down.
For now.
Yellow is considering putting these clips that he shouldn't even be making into a Warzone Verdansk loser playlist to identify which people that play in Verdansk are fucking losers. Armor plates, as pinged out by Blue, are very, very important to shield your character in the game. This distracted squad with no communication is starting to die. Yellow knows that they're all not going to make it, and is kind of laughing internally. What a sad excuse of a bunch of players. Why would these players play Warzone as well? This is embarrassing.
The gulag. They'll need to survive to redeploy.
They may win their gulags, but Yellow is prepared
Wait for a chance to redeploy.
to buy them all back, so they can repeatedly die in the war
If they
zone,
survive, they redeploy.
while Yellow somehow survives walking
Gas is closing
in the open
Relocating safe zone.
by himself. This is very, very strange.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Target
Squad
down.
mate redeploying to the AO.
How is it that Yellow is able to survive? Playing like a complete idiot.
Your squad mate won the fight. They're redeploying now.
And one would also have to understand the wonder. Yellow tries to catch the Molotov on purpose, to see if he can even come close to dying. Yellow has found a third self-revive that his teammates will not utilize. This is very unwise. Utilizing a self-revive would be very crucial in the final circle. If you had any competitive blood within you.
Get your squad to the safe zone. Leave no one behind.
But then again, we're talking about the wayward clowns that Yellow is subjected to on this video game. Yellow has completed a bounty,
KIA.
providing money for his squad.
Secure the supply boxes. Locations are marked on your
Look
map.
around!
And scored himself a double kill. Good job, Yellow. Now, move your stupid ass into the zone so you don't get your head sniped off while walking in the open. Just like the AI do in the game. Let's check the score. Oh, Yellow's in 3rd place this time. This is quite a surprise. Last match, Yellow held a 1st place for the entirety of the match, walking around with an MP5 and grabbing no loadout. How is that possible? Very puzzling behaviors going on in the war zone, which you may find common.
Down. 2 remain.
Yellow Squad is completing a scavenger contract, which is generally bigger money than the rest of the contracts, and provides, if not, provides at least a armor satchel and a UAV, which are very useful items in the war zone.
One supply box remaining. Move to secure.
Yellow is starting to smoke, because he needs to reduce his stress levels playing with idiots. Sorry, Yellow has corrected me. Yellow says he is playing with the worst players in gaming history. Not just idiots, but complete inbred dyslexic clowns, he says. Wow. That's not very nice, Yellow. But then again, your teammates are pretty fucking brain dead, so it's sort of understandable.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Yellow just erases another bot.
Contract complete. All supply boxes found. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Yellow's team has utilized the UAV kill streak,
Dropped him!
which Yellow is using to his advantage, hoping to not lose to this real player that's coming up near him.
Taking effective
Yellow just
fire!
gets sniped out of his fucking mind. This person driving likely knows exactly where Yellow is.
Got myself up!
This fucking scrub actually dies to Yellow while he's doing nothing in the war zone. That is crazy. Yellow has finally died.
Welcome to the good.
Somehow he beat that real player. Good job, Yellow. But maybe stick closer to your team
Earn redeployment or die trying.
instead of living in dismay. Yellow says, "Fuck that shit, my squad is a bunch of pedophiles." That's not very nice, Yellow.
Target down. Stand by for redeployment. You earned it.
Yellow then does what's called a switch up and decides, yeah, I'm gonna land with these failures. Their mom should have aborted them, but he's gonna give them a chance. Not very wise, Yellow. You are playing with some stupid people. That's okay, because as long as these stupid fucks produce any level of teamwork, this match will be pretty easy, given that Yellow isn't even using a sprint function and can beat the real players in the lobby. It should be pretty easy. Yellow is shocked. He got sniped out of his fucking motherfucking mind and stood right back up and fucking destroyed that clown, saying, "Put that sniper away, you don't know how to use it. Learn how to follow up your shots, you fucking idiot." Damn, Yellow has kind of a big mouth. But he doesn't care, he says.
Closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Target down!
Yellow has purchased a loadout drop. Wise? Perhaps
We've got
not,
a loadout drop inbound.
especially with a free one on the map. Yellow's going to cause as much ruckus as possible, throwing the loadout right in the fucking open like an idiot. Not giving a flying fuck, because Yellow is sick and tired of playing with complete losers.
Affirmative.
Yellow says, I'd like to spectate. Watch these guys blow another 3 versus 2. That would be fun.
Some of your squad is outside the safe zone.
This enemy is a piss-easy kill. Good job, Pink. Looks like you know how to shoot a weapon in a video game.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Yellow's purchasing a self-revive and a cluster strike
HDR awaiting targeting data.
and moving up to the center of the fucking field. Yellow says, I don't give 2 fucks. Oh my god! Blue just got outplayed out of his motherfucking mind. And we're talking about massively outplayed. What is he thinking going up there? What is Yellow thinking going up there? Are both these players out of their fucking minds or what? Yellow just fucking absolutely destroys this clown without even trying.
Pressure on.
How the fuck did Blue die to this guy? Yellow wonders.
Jailbreak.
Yellow just obliterates these clowns again.
4 remaining.
Yellow's not even fucking trying. How is this possible? This guy's prone somewhere down here, hiding like a bitch. Yellow's not even trying, and just fucking annihilates the enemies and wins the match. Yellow just won the match without using the sprint function in the video game. Good job, Yellow. Your teammates almost threw it. That's okay, says Yellow. Free carries all day. These players muted Yellow because they're pathetic. But Yellow says, I don't care what you do because you're a piece of shit. You'll never do anything that's actually prominent. Good game. Did Yellow get top score doing nothing? We'll see. Yellow got second place, a close second place, and most kills, doing nothing, and not sprinting once in the match. Wow.